When Vlad decided to stop at a small roadside hotel, he thought of only one thing: a quick overnight stay, and then on his way. The road was long, the rain had soaked the windshield, and he could barely see a meter ahead. The hotel looked old, neglected, with a sign that was buzzing in the wind. "Night Rest Hotel," said the sign, the paint from which had crumbled. Vlad went inside. The smell was strange, like old wet wallpaper mixed with something sour. Behind the counter sat a man with a deathly white face. He had dark circles under his eyes, as if he hadn't slept in years. "A room for one night," said Vlad. "We rarely have guests," the man answered in a low, hoarse voice. This phrase was said as if he was sorry that the guest had appeared. He gave Vlad the key to room 17. Strange things started right away when Vlad entered the room. He noticed the TV was blinking, although it was turned off. In the mirror, a slight tremor of the print, as if the air was moving there. In the corner there was an old rocking chair, which was rocking on its own. Vlad thought it was a draft. He checked the window, it was closed. As he lay down to sleep, the light above his bed began to flicker. 1, 2, 3. Then he heard a sound. A very slow sound. Creak, creak, creak. The rocking chair moved on its own, even though there was no wind in the room. Vlad threw off the blanket and approached, but when he touched the chair, it stopped so abruptly, as if someone had been sitting on it and just stood up. More strange, on the bedside table lay an old guest journal. Yellowed, worn, but open to a page with numerous names. They were in the same handwriting, strangely similar, and all the dates were long gone. The last one was almost 40 years ago. Vlad wanted to turn the page, but he heard behind him. Late reading, he turned around, and no one. The voice was quiet, like a woman's, but the room was empty. Knock on the door at 2:13 in the middle of the night. There was a sharp, insistent knock. "Current, current, current. Who's there?" Vlad shouted. Silence. Then a rustle in the corridor. He went to the door, looked through the peephole, and nothing. The corridor was empty, but the light was refracted as if someone had just run through. When he walked away, the knock came again, this time from inside the closet. The wardrobe was right behind him. "Current, current, current." Slowly, no rush, Vlad approached her, his hand trembling. He opened the door and saw empty, but there were scratches on the wooden interior panel, fresh, as if they had just been left. Phone call from the dark. The old phone in the room rang, muffled, as if from the basement. Vlad picked up the phone, and there were only breaths in it. Long, cold, feminine. Then a voice whispered, "You're taking my number," Vlad shouted. "What do you want?" And the voice answered, "To go. But I can't." Then there was a sudden loss of communication. The worst started after 3 a.m. In the darkness, he felt someone standing next to the bed. No sound, no breathing. The cold began to lick his skin like frost. Vlad was afraid to open his eyes, but when he dared, he saw him. A woman's silhouette sat in a rocking chair. Her long hair covered her face. Her arms hung down dead, and the chair rocked. Creak, creak, creak. Vlad froze. The woman suddenly stopped. She raised her head and very slowly turned it towards him. The face was empty. No eyes, no mouth, just a dark hole where the head should have been. The chair fell with a crash. Vlad ran out of the room, screaming, and raced towards the hotel exit. The ending he didn't expect. There was no one on the first floor, just another magazine, the same one that was in the room. Vlad came up. On the last line was a new name. His name. He reread. Guest 17. Vladislav M. And the date. Today. The entry was made in the same smooth, old handwriting. Nearby was another phrase that made his legs feel numb. Didn't come back. He rushed to the exit, but the door didn't open. A familiar voice was heard behind me. "You are taking my number."